Hi guys, install and style this frontal wig with me. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Wangare and I deal with everything fashion, lifestyle, hair, anything good out there. But today I want to install this frontal wig with you guys so that you see how quick and easy it is to install a frontal. It doesn't need to take a whole hour. I only do this style. It takes me like 10, maybe 15 minutes at most. First of all, I put in my cap on top of my fresh lines. Then I put on the wig and I look at the ends. I start with the ears. I use this got to be glue spray. It's very cold, so you need to be aware of that. So when you spray it on your skin, it feels like ice on your skin. I start with the ears. Most people start at the front, but I prefer starting on the ears so that I get my bearings correctly. And I make sure I line the center part with the center of my nose. I might not have done it precisely, but I know where my center is because I have widows. What is that thing? The thing that comes on top of your hairline, so I know where my middle is. I make sure I spray a generous amount, and then I stick in the wig itself to make sure that it's properly secured. Of course, this does not make it secure, but it's just aligning it and making sure that I've covered especially my edges that are not showing through, because it's a full frontal, and the wig and the style that I want to do will show the lace, the front of the lace. Depends on which style you want, but the style I want to do a half up half down style, so my edges will be showing. I come back with this elastic band that I was gifted by my wig lady, and I tighten it. It doesn't have to be a fancy elastic. You just use any elastic that you have, but it has to be elastic because it lays the edges perfectly without, and then when you're removing it, because the glue is on there, it won't hold on to the glue and it won't rip off the glue that's already on the hair. So that's why we use an elastic band. I tighten it as tight as I can, and then I go in with my wide tooth comb and I comb out the hair. I'm not just doing it for uh giggles. I want to make sure that none of my hair is tucked into the wig itself, so that when I want to style it, it's not tucked into the glue. That happens a lot. It's something I had to learn the hard way. So I make sure that none of it is tucked into the band and into the glue itself. So I comb it out and I make sure that it's all tangle free. Make sure that it's completely tangle free. This wig is very good. It's a secure unit that I'm able to very easily. It's very light. Then I go in with this hair oil. It's called wood ice. I make sure that I use a very small amount because it goes a long way. A little goes a long way, and it smells so good. It makes it smell so good. Use it to make tea. Some people raise, but I prefer using because they're not as heavy on my wigs. So I part the wig into two, and I make sure I generously apply my hair, which which is just mostly at the top part, and on the I don't want it to get weighed down by hair oils because else you'll see it. I to make sure that the wig is the oil itself is firmly distributed, that it's evenly, not firmly, it's evenly distributed in the hair, and I don't have any clumps. This oil is really nice though. It's not that heavy, so I'm able to just be secure with it. Then I go in with this small comb. I want to do a small two what do this I want to leave out a bit of hair at the front, not just have a full on half up half down hairstyle. So I take my comb, remove my leave outs, then I'll go in again with my wide tooth comb and comb out. Now I'm starting to style. Now we are starting to style this hair. I comb out the back part. I make sure that the back side is completely out of my face. Then I'll use this hot, what's this called? It's a It's a flat iron, sorry. It's called a flat iron. I use it on 220. I don't use too much heat on this hair because I feel like it makes it lighter, thinner, not lighter, thinner. The more I use a flat iron on it, but I go in especially on these front bits that I've left out, and then I'll also run it through my the rest of my hair for the first time, and then I'll do a final rundown towards the end to just make sure that the hair is completely laying flat. I use, it's called Kimei. I just bought it on Jumia. If you're interested, it's I've had it for like 2 3 years and it's still as good as new. So I make sure I flat iron the hair completely, not completely, not that thoroughly, but I run it through this flat iron, and I make sure, especially these front bits, you'll see me running this flat iron through it quite a bit to make sure that it looks spiffy, it looks good, not perfect, but it looks good, it looks kind of professionally done. I got this hairstyle for my traditional wedding, and I really really loved it, and I had to learn how to do it because I loved how they styled this hair. And I if I can learn something, I don't have to keep going to the salon to have it installed, and and then I don't like sleeping with my wigs on. So of course at night I'll have to remove it, and that's why I love the Got to Be glue spray, not the paste, the spray, because the spray does not damage your edges, and it's very easy to uninstall the wig in the evening, or maybe a maximum of 1 day. So here I'm about to do the parting, the half part. You use your thumbs, the ends of your thumbs, like that, and then you go in a straight line. This wig is it's a nice human hair wig, so it's easy to part. So you see, I just went in one time. If you're using a synthetic wig, because I also have some synthetic wigs, it's a bit harder to part, but still do it the same way and you'll be able to do it. It'll be a bit more resistant, but I'm sure it still can do it because there's some nice synthetic frontals that I've seen out there, especially if you want something with our African hair texture. So yet again, I go in and I make sure I lay that hair down. My arms, my arms were tired at this point. So I go in and make sure I've laid it down. My poor arms were going through it. And now I'll go in with the black tie, my black hair tie, and I'll tie it several times because I like it secure. I don't want it to be moving anywhere. Don't worry about the random hair. It doesn't need to be perfect. It does not need to be perfect. It just needs to be presentable. And this to me is presentable enough because I can't see my back. I'm just assuming what it looks like at this point. So after that, again, I go in with my brush down everything, and then I go in with my hot comb. But this time it had gotten quite hot, and I needed to make sure that it's not as hot, so I blew on it a bit to make sure that it cooled down a bit so that it doesn't burn my hair. So yet again, I go in flat, but you'll see something I'll do to make sure that the top of my hair doesn't have flyaways. For now, I'll brush out my hair in readiness for a final run through with my hot comb. I brush it down from the side because that's where my arms can reach, and then I go in with my hot comb, which by now is already super hot. Run down the hot comb several times, but not too much. You see, I'm not pressing it too hard. It's very very light, and I make sure I don't run it through a lot of times because I don't want the hair to be burnt or to make it fine. Again, on the other side, I do the same thing. I run the comb through it, the flat iron through it several times, and then after that I'll go in at the bun, the part I've held the bun, run it a few times, and then again with my brush just to make sure that everything is looking nice and neat as we can make it look. For me, that's a win because I'm not after perfection. I'm just after something that looks presentable. So at the front, yet again, this is my final run through. At this time, I'd already disconnected the hot comb, and then I use the got to be glue to hold down this any stress that might be on the top of the hair. That helps it be get achieve that really sleek look. And then I use a silk scarf which I will tie on top of my head to make sure that there's no random hair uh getting away, like to make sure that it's as neat as can be. So I'll go in with this silk scarf. That you have to use something silky or something that has a certain feel, because it won't stick to the hair when you're trying to remove it. That's the point. If you use cotton, it will definitely stick to the hair, and that will make your efforts fruitless. So I leave it on for about 5 minutes, not long. If you want a very sleek slick back look, then you can leave it longer, but I don't want it to be that fine. I want it to still have a bit of puffy look. So after 5 minutes I'll remove this silk scarf, and you'll see how neat it looks. It didn't really take 5 minutes, but that's that's the maximum I usually use. And you can see how sleek back it looks. It looks so nice and neat. You see, even the flyaways that were there, they're there no more. So at this point, I want to put a bit of accessories on my hair for a little razzle dazzle. So I'll use this silk bow that I really likes. It has that girly look, that girly feel. So I'll just put that to just give it a little razzle dazzle to make it a bit fun. And I'll clip it in. Look at that. Look at that. It looks so cute. I love it. So, and it also hides the hair tie that I have on there instead of wrapping hair around that. So now it's time for the reveal. Now remove my band and let's see. Ooh, nice. I can leave what are these called, baby hairs, if I wanted to, but I really don't know how to do that. And I really care for I don't care for baby hairs. I just wanted a small amount of side bands for the hair not to look so like so plain. So after a while, no, not after a while, now I want to slick down the side bands. I use some what's this glue? It's not got to be. I just use some gel to lay down these edges, and they give a bit of an oomph, to the hair without making it look like I'm doing too much. So here I am in putting the glue, the gel. It's not glue, it's gel. As you can see, the hairstyle came out really cute. And I'll finalize the look with some olive oil spray. Not a lot, just a bit, because like I said, I don't like heaviness on my hair. A lot of product makes my hair very heavy, and I don't like washing my wigs as much because I feel like each wash loses its quality. So that's my final look, and I love it. I really love it. Let's finalize it with some with a brush through and tuck away some leave-aways under my my ears, and then finish off with some cute earrings. And that's the final look. I love it. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.